Hi, Mark T the Handyman here. Today we're going to install a WATERDROP 600G RO system. So this is our WATERDROP 600G unpacked. Let's get to work. Here we have a complete list of all the parts that came with the RO water system 600G. This is a drawing of the 600G if you were going to install it under the sink. This is a drawing that I modified from the factory setup to what we are going to do. As you can see, we are not going to put the RO system underneath the sink. We are going to put it underneath the floor, about 4 foot 8 inches away from the sink and about 30 inches below the sink. According to the manufacturer, the vertical distance of 30 inches and the horizontal distance of 4 foot 8 inches is well within the range of the WATERDROP 600G. We will be making the connections of the RO wastewater to the drain line from the sink and the RO filter water to the faucet. But the RO supply water will be located in the basement, along with the WATERDROP 600G. I lucked out a little bit here. Instead of having to drill a hole through the granite, I just had to remove the old soap dispenser. The hole for the new faucet fits perfectly. So now we're going to drill the hole through the cabinet and then through the floor and push our tubes below the floor and then to the new location. Here's a view of the space. We are going to be moving our RO wastewater and our RO filtered water from the sink cabinet to the shelf where the RO system will be located. We've run our wastewater tube and our filtered water tube through the soffit that is located just below the floor. The RO kit did not supply tubes that would take us the distance of 4 foot 8 inches that we need to travel. So I've added some tubing to both the wastewater and the filtered water lines. That is why the wastewater tubing that is coming underneath the floor is not red, it's white. If you're wondering how I was able to get the tubing from the shelving area to the sink area, I took a wire fish tape and was able to fish it through the soffit just far enough where I could grab it and pull it towards me. Then I attached the tubes to the fish tape and brought them through the hole. That didn't take very long, but I've been doing this for quite a long time. Now we're going back upstairs underneath the sink and install the wastewater bracket to the drain line. First, I'm going to drill a pilot hole for the 1/4 inch hole that we need for the wastewater line. Now I'm going to drill the 1/4 inch hole and install the bracket. The instructions call for the red wastewater line to be about 0.6 of an inch into the drain line. Now we just need to finish attaching the bracket. Next, we are going to install the new faucet. This is the faucet that was supplied with the WATERDROP system. Unfortunately, my lovely wife thought it might be better to keep the color of the new faucet black so as to be color coordinated with the rest of the kitchen. So we will be installing the black faucet, but no worries. We have a small kitchen area in the same area as the new RO system is being installed, although it will be in a different video when we install it. So I put this piece in the video to show the T and valve assembly that was provided by the WATERDROP people in our parts package. They really make it easy to tap into the cold water at your sink. If we were going to install the RO system under the sink, all you would have to do is undo the top nut on your cold water valve to the existing sink faucet and connect the bottom of the fitting that they provide to the top of the valve, and then connect the existing cold water line to the top of the provided valve and T assembly. Just thought I'd show you that. Also, this is a look at the wastewater and filtered water tubing that we just installed. This is the valve that we will be getting our supply water for the RO system. Right now it's hooked up to the refrigerator ice maker and water dispenser. But we are going to take this water line and we're going to modify it a little bit and hook our 3/8 line up to our system. Then we're going to hook the refrigerator into the RO system. Normally, the supply water would come from under the sink and they would have you tap into the line that feeds the cold water on the sink. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little 1/4 inch nut off right there, and then we're going to replace this fitting, which is a 1/2 inch pipe by 1/4 compression. Then we're going to install a 1/2-inch male pipe by 3/8 compression, and then I will be able to adapt the new 3/8 water supply line. So let's take off the 1/4-inch braided line in the pipe fitting that goes to the refrigerator and install the new fitting. We have removed the old fitting and replaced it with a new 1/2-inch male pipe by 3/8 compression fitting. And now we're going to install the 3/8 hose. Because we're connecting a 3/8 plastic hose to a brass fitting, we need to use an insert into the plastic pipe along with the plastic ferrule. Now we'll just screw the nut on. If we're using pipe to the brass fitting, we would not have to use the insert. So now we have our new fitting and plastic pipe installed. As you can see, we've already run the 3/8 plastic water supply in the refrigerator water line down to the shelf where the RO system will be located. Now it's time to install our 3 plastic lines. First, we take out the shipping plug for the main water supply to the RO system. If you've noticed, the tubing that came from the factory all have a line on them to let you know the depth that they recommend you push the hose into the RO system unit hole. Since we're using hoses that didn't come with the machine, we don't have that line on the tubing. What they're looking for is about 7/8 of an inch or until you feel the tubing stop. And what I found out that you can do is you can feel the tube stopping. Finally, we will install the retaining clips that will lock the hoses into place after they are installed. What the retaining clips do is they hold the tubes in place. Now it's time to turn the machine around and install the filters. We will start with the bottom filter. The bottom filter is called the reverse osmosis membrane filter, or the RO filter. We simply take the protective cap off, slide the filter in, and turn the filter clockwise until the filter clicks into place. Next, we will install the middle filter, which is called the pre-sediment and carbon block filter, or the CF filter. Once again, take the protective cap off, slide the filter in, and turn the filter clockwise until the filter clicks into place. Last but not least, we will install the top filter, which is called the activated carbon filter, or the CB filter. Once again, take the protective cap off, slide the filter in, and turn the filter clockwise until the filter clicks into place. Now we can open the 3/8 supply water valve and check for leaks. Then connect the power adapter at the back of the RO housing and plug the power cord into the wall outlet. After powering up, the system will start flushing automatically for 5 minutes. Next, we will turn on the RO faucet and allow it to run for 30 minutes or until the front panel screen starts displaying TDS readings. One last thing to do, let's see if it works. Here we go. And we're filling up that 16 ounces. I wouldn't say it's a gusher, but it's about what our refrigerator used to do and still does. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up or a like. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.